Hey guys, welcome back to the Optimism tutorial. Today we are going to talk about attestation. We'll explore what they are, why they are crucial, and how you can use them in your projects. Let's get right into it. So what exactly are attestations? Think of them as a digital proof or certification, essentially statements made by one party about another. In the blockchain world, these proofs are stored on-chain, making them verifiable and tamper-proof. Attestations can confirm identities, verify credentials, or even prove the authenticity of digital content. They are incredibly useful in areas like decentralized identity, where you can prove aspects of your identity without revealing too much. And with services like EAS, creating and managing attestations are easier than ever. So why attestations matter? Attestations are a big deal for several reasons. First is trustless verification. They allow verification without relying on a central authority. Then we have privacy. You can prove something without exposing all your data. Then we have interoperability. Attestations work across different systems and platforms, making your life easier as a developer. For example, you can think about verifying a degree. The university can issue an attestation saying you have graduated, and you can use that attestation to prove your qualification wherever needed, without sharing your entire academic record. Now let's talk about the magic behind attestation, the smart contracts. So EAS uses two smart contracts mainly. First one is SchemaRegistry.sol and EAS.sol. Let's talk about SchemaRegistry.sol. This contract manages the schemas used for attestation. A schema defines the data structure for the attestation, like what data points are needed. For example, if you are attesting to someone's attendance at an event, the schema might include fields like event ID, location, and time. It allows developers to register new schemas, ensuring that all attestations follow a standard format. Then EAS.sol. So this is the main contract where attestations are created and stored. It uses the schemas defined in the schema registry to ensure that all attestations are structured properly. It also includes functionality for verifying attestation and revoking if necessary. Now if you go to the EAS website, here you can see they have two types of attestation. One is on-chain and other one is off-chain. And if we go down, you can see that it uses two simple smart contracts: schema record, attestation, basically schema registry, and EAS.sol. Here you can find the GitHub repository link where you can check out the smart contracts. Now let's go to the EAS Explorer. EAS Scan, the tool that lets you explore and manage attestations on-chain. Think of it as a Etherscan for attestations. So when I go to the EAS Scan Sepolia, you can see that I can view all the attestations here that are being made and all the schemas that are being created here. So here I have the Make Attestation button. But let's first start with schemas. So I'll start by creating a schema. You can see that there are a total of 2,355 schemas right now. I'll just create one. Let's see. Suppose for our example that I gave before about graduation and degree, if you want to create a schema for that, so it should have a student ID, and student ID can be of type byte 32. So we're talking about a degree for a student, and then it should have a student name and it will be of string type. Then it should have a degree title and it should be of string type as well, and it should also have a graduation date, and we can keep it as byte 32 as well for now. Here you can see I have an option is revocable, yes or no, and there is a resolver address that says optional smart contract that gets executed every attestation of this type. So we are going to keep this one empty for now, and we'll just click on create schema. So I get a pop-up from MetaMask, then I'll just click on confirm, and there's one more transaction. So I have confirmed both the transactions. Let's wait. Now you can see that our schema is created. You can see that we have student ID, student name, degree title, graduation date, and all the types that we mentioned here. If you go to the code sample, here also you can see the complete schema. Now we'll try to attest with the schema. So I have a button here, attest with schema. And suppose for student ID, I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4. Student name, I'll write Ishan. Degree, I'll write BTech Computer Science, and graduation date I can just write 2020 probably. Yeah. So now it gives the option of off-chain and on-chain. As we discussed before, I can make an attestation off-chain or on-chain. I'll just select the on-chain one. I'll click on make attestation. I get a pop-up from MetaMask. I'll just confirm the transaction. Now you can see that our on-chain attestation has been created with all the data that we provided. And there is a revoke attestation button as well, because we selected yes for is revocable true or not. And there is a creation timestamp as well here. Now let's talk about one more schema that is already created. It's make a statement. I'll just search make a statement here. So this is created by the developers itself, and it takes only one parameter, that is message of type string. So I'll just try to attest with it. Here I'll just write welcome to the blockchain with Ishan channel. Yeah. So this is a message that I'm writing, and here it gives me option of on-chain, off-chain. Again, in the advanced option, I have an expiration time. So I can give, for example, 31st of July as the expiration date, and I can just click on make attestation. So this one is going for an off-chain attestation. So I get a signature request only. I could have done it on-chain as well. So I'll just click on sign. So now you can see that an off-chain attestation is being recorded with the message that I wrote. Now I want to talk about one more concept, that is private data attestation. So I'm showing the documentation right now. In the EAS documentation, they have described it in very much detail. You can go through it. I'll share the link in the description. Basically, I'll tell you what it is. Private data attestation leverages Merkle trees, the unique capability to selectively disclose specific data fields without compromising overall privacy. So basically, users can securely store and share particular parts of the attested data. So let's go and try it out. To try out private data, I'll just search private data here. Yeah. So here is the private data schema. It takes only one variable, that is of byte 32. So suppose I click on attest with schema, it is going to ask me to add your data. So suppose I add my name here, I add my role, and I add my address. So I've added three things here, and recipient I am keeping in empty. I'm doing it off chain for now, and we are not going to do anything with the advanced options. I'll just click on make attestation. I get a signature request. I click on sign. You can see our off-chain attestation is being created, and the only data that is stored is a hashed form of my data, right? So suppose if I want to prove it to someone else that this is my correct details, so I can just open a new incognito window, and I'll just copy this same link here. And suppose I want to tell the other person that my name and my role. So I'll just click on generate proof. You can see that I get the proof here. I'll just copy paste and I'll send it to the other person. Other person is going to just paste the proof here and click on verify proof. So it says proof is verified and my data comes here. So I have selected some part of my data to be shared with the other person that I want. Now let's talk about few more things, such as how can you start building your projects around it. So you can create attestations on the EAS Scan, or if you want to create attestations through your code, you can use the EAS SDK. So it's a JavaScript SDK. You can just use the commands to install it. And the steps provided here, these steps are really simple. So basically you define the schema and then you just create the attestations using it. And there you have it. We have explored what attestations are, the smart contracts behind it, and how to navigate the EAS Scan. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.